All right. Well, welcome everybody to this webinar. Good morning or good evening, wherever you are, in which part ever of the world you are in. I'm hosting this webinar from Luxembourg today, and it's the evening for me. And we are going to be talking about how to elevate your human design practice with BG5 career and business consulting. So I structured this webinar more for people who are familiar with human design. So you might have studied the book, you might have taken courses with IHDS, and you know more probably of the personal application of human design. And BG5 is a great addition to that. So the structure of this webinar is concentrated on that, how BG5 can add value to your human design practice. And I also want to talk a little bit about the differences and the different perspective we take in BG5, right? So a small intro to me. So my name is Banu, and it's my absolute pleasure to be with all of you today. And I certainly hope you'll have a great time in the next hour, where I don't want to present too long, okay? So my slides, I think, will be like 20 to 25 minutes. And always feel free to jump in and, interrupt and ask questions. So I've been in the IT world and in the corporate world for 25 years. I had very different roles throughout my career, concentrating on marketing and sales. I've managed different sales teams in different parts of the world. I'm also an instructor at the BG5 Business Institute, and I do teach the foundation courses and the consultant certification courses. I was so drawn to BG5. I have all the certifications. So I do coaching and consulting with BG5, OC16, which is the large organization practice of it, the cycles and the profit potential as well. I'm also a breathing facilitator, and I do mind coaching as well. And I came across human design, I think it was in 2015. It's been some time now. And I had gone to this training where there were 2 days speaking about human design and your design and how to look at the chart. And I remember during this time, I was so drawn to this knowledge. I couldn't hear it really, I couldn't wait to hear more. And I was so drawn into it. So I started reading it. And then I found BG5. And that's when I knew this is where I wanted to grow. Because I had been in the corporate world for a long time. So this knowledge drawing me in, I wanted to know so more. And this is what I thought. This is where I can add value. Yes, the knowledge is there. But then coming from the corporate world, having worked in business for so long, if I could combine my knowledge of the business world and the BG5 knowledge, then I could really go deep and create some value and make a difference. So that's why I started in this path, actually. And it's just helped me so much in my personal career, through my relations within the business. Even when I left the corporate world, I was a sales director at Microsoft. So it was like even becoming a people manager, I don't think I could have gotten where I did in the corporate world if I didn't know this information. It's just helped me immensely with my own career and also helping other people be in my team or people I was mentoring during that time. It's really made a difference for me. So I really want to leave a legacy behind as someone who has really helped as many people bring out the best out of themselves. And according to BG5, my life purpose is being a great teacher dedicated to explaining the same thing over and over, furthering education and change, always interested in what comes next. So when I saw this and studying BG5, something inside me, I knew that this is what I'm supposed to be explaining, over and over. So I'm very passionate about it. And this is my way, teaching it is my way of spreading it, because if I can really help consultants be trained, certified through the institute, and really be able to apply this knowledge with their clients and people around them, then I can really create a ripple effect where I can touch as many people as I can with this knowledge. So let us get started. All right. I am going to try to monitor the chat as well. So if you have anything coming up, just you can put it in the chat. I have allowed everyone to talk, so feel free to jump in, make comments, or ask questions as you like. Okay, I'd like to make it as interactive as possible. Alrighty, so let's move on with the content now. So a few of you, we had a chat as we were beginning the webinar. You do know what BG5 is, but for the purpose of those people who are seeing it for the first time, I have a few slides where I would like to just go over what BG5 is. So BG5 is the career and business application of the human design system. And it's very different actually from the personal application. So in BG5, we look specifically at the most fundamental issue that all human beings have to face, which is being able to take care of ourselves, yes, how to be successful materially, be it in our job, in our career, or in the business in general sense, in a fulfilling way. So questions like, how are we designed to make money? How do you fulfill your purpose while you are earning what you need? Yes. What gifts really get called out of you? Yes, when you enter smaller groups or when you're in large organizations or a group of people that's more than a small group, yes, the larger organizations, something happens there, and we're going to talk about that, yes, and certain gifts get called out of us. So taking a look at those, and also taking a look at what environments we work best in. Okay, because for everyone, it's all different. It doesn't mean this is my special place, this is the environment I can work in, like I could work in a small business or maybe in a large organization, but there is an order which suits everybody a little better, okay, versus the others. So this information also allows us to take a look at that. And also, how do we work best with others? Because I think the business world, if you think about it, nothing exists in a vacuum. Right? You're not alone. So you need vendors, you need customers, colleagues, there's a boss, yes, people who report to you, whatever the configuration may be. For business to happen, we need multiple parties to be there. So we're also looking at this interaction of what happens within the business through the BG5 lens. So let's talk a little bit about what makes BG5 different from human design, the personal application of human design. So the goal of BG5 is not really to wake people up, okay? It's the goal for BG5 is to guide individuals to really find fulfillment and be successful in the material world, whether they're going through a career cycle or they're running their own business, yes. And our task really at BG5 is really to provide practical solutions to problems that people are facing. And we use a language that's more business oriented. So the human design language for some people is too esoteric, yes. You will find out that the BG5 language is different, yes, and which brings a better resonance and also a broader reach for this information to get out there. So Ra himself, actually, he taught BG5 a couple of times, I believe. And at the Institute, we honor original information that's out there. And for the purposes of the webinar, I brought a few quotes from Ra himself around BG5. So as you can see here, he says, BG5 is not directly connected with what we would call spiritual or economic domain. It's business. And the goal is not to be awake. The goal is to improve the bottom line. Yes. And not only is the goal to improve the bottom line, but it's interested in looking at human beings in a way that's almost the opposite of the way in which you look at human beings in terms of your relationship to them in terms of basic human design. So the perspective BG5 takes is quite different from the human design application. Okay. So I also said the material potential is something that really needs to be understood, okay, very deeply in the design of a human being in order to be able to give them the tools that they will need to be able to operate correctly in the future, yes, and be able to bring in the material resources that they're going to need into their lives. So it's all about making that material prosperity happen using your design, yes, and using our wisdom. And those of you who have studied human design in its personal application would know. We talk there a lot about the conditioning and the not self, yes. In BG5, we're not quote unquote preoccupied with the conditioning of the not self, but we look at the not self as our shadows and distractions. But we also take a look at the other side of the coin, which is actually the opportunity for wisdom, okay, in that openness. And once you really can stop personally identifying with that, and you can be an objective observer of what's moving through you through that openness, you could really take that and use it to your advantage. Yeah, so for example, when we do the profit potential coaching, which is a whole 4 semesters class, is to be certified in it, it's very deep information. But that's where we focus on. We focus on the openness and how you attract through that to make profit, actually. So again, let's finish up Ra's quote. So this is the third one that I had brought, which is talking to what I've just explained now. So he says, it's not about eliminating conditioning. It's about eliminating the ignorance of conditioning. Yes. So you see, any center that's open in you is your opportunity for wisdom. Yes. So this is your opportunity through that filtering process that once you stop identifying with what's moving through you, you can really take advantage of it. Right? So that's where we focus in BG5. So for example, when we go through the foundation courses, we will look at what does it mean to have a function, okay, in centers in human design are functions in BG5 language. If a function is open, yes, there'll be a shadow to it. And it can really distract you from your decision-making strategy. But then what's the wisdom of this and how can you use it to your advantage in business? Yeah. So these are the things that we really talk about in BG5. Now, couple of things about BG5 as well. So there are actually 2 sides to it, yes. So the first part really is knowing yourself individually. So in your career, or if you're managing a business, or you're a leader in business, yes, knowing yourself personally is one application of it. And how do you really make decisions correctly, which is your decision-making strategy, and also understanding your individual potential. Yes. So which strengths do you have? Yes. Which business skills do you have? Because you will see in the business world, especially more in the corporate world as well, we're so focused on fixing what's not there. Yes, talking about improvement areas, you know, where you need to get to that job type of thing. But the business world spends a little time, and there's more awakening now around building on people's strengths and building on the skills that people have. So the first part for BG5 is understanding yourself individually. And then, of course, there is the bigger part of it, which is understanding how we work with others. Yes, and that's what business is about. Yes, interacting. So BG5 helps us understand the mechanics of the partnerships, for example, if 2 people are coming together to work on something, and the group dynamics. Yes. And what happens when we are together within a group, be it small or large, something happens there that there's this energetic thing. Remember, we always talk about like company cultures, for example, or how people in a certain company behave a certain way. Because there's something happens in the background. There's that frequency in the background that's there the moment we really walk into a group. Yeah? And it kind of dominates the individuals when you walk into such an environment. Yeah? It can even dumb us down a little bit, and it will only pull certain things out of us. So when we use BG5, we can really try to see, we can start seeing this. Yes. And we also can learn how these mechanics really influence us in the background, and how do we really use them to our advantage. Yes. For example, we look at assimilation. My assimilation is collaborative, meaning I should collaborate in doing things. Yes. Not because I have to, I can't get through things myself. I can, but being in the presence of others just helps me. Yes. So then knowing that in business, of course, moves you miles. You know, because if I'm like collaborative and I one day decide, okay, I'm going to establish my own company now, and I'm going to be a solopreneur, and we'll do it all. So then, like, if I knew my chart, right, then maybe I would know this is not the correct thing for me to do. Yeah. So things, very basic things that could help individuals so much. Yes. Or decision-making strategy and how to know if something is on track or off track. So all these little practical solutions that are out there that we can offer through the BG5 lens can really help support individuals in business, okay? And also make their businesses work in more harmony, and also make more material success. So these are the two different components of BG5 that we have. So looking at the individual, and then looking actually in groups, okay? And then that can go, of course, in different variations. As I said, the information is very deep. So here is a few examples of what we can actually look at in BG5, okay? So, as I said, we don't operate in a vacuum in the business world. And BG5 allows us to see, for example, these 4 maps, okay? So I mentioned the individual, the business dynamics for the career design, yes, which is the body graph chart. So within this, we can see the profit potential of this person. What are their innate gifts? What gets called out of them when they go into a small group, or whether they belong in a large group or not. Yes. So are you meant to work in a big organization, for example, like a worldwide big corporate organization? Yes. So somebody's career design chart actually tells us about that. Yes. And how are they supposed to use their energy efficiently? And what are the things they can be careful about? Yes, because these shadows is where their mind will step in and override their decision-making strategy. And also, because I'm mentioning it now, of course, knowing your decision-making strategy is so important. So then you know how to make the right decision at the right time for you in business as well. And you can do that with confidence. Yes, trusting yourself. So with BG5, we can also look at partnerships. Yes, if 2 people are meant to work together, let's say 2 people want to establish a business together, or they already have a business and they want to see what are the energy dynamics, or if there are problem areas. Yes. So then we can also take a look at that, and we can do a partnership analysis. And we can also put multiple people into the BG5 Penta, which is this. So this is the one we use for teams and small businesses. So these colors here represent the people within that team. And there are 12 business skills that called out when multiple people come together. Okay. So this chart is showing me which of the team members are actually bringing those skills into that team. And we can also see if there are any gaps. Yes, let's say this team might be missing oversight, or maybe they don't have the resources, or they don't have sales capabilities, yes? So then automatically, by looking at that, we will know that there might be problems there if there's a gap. So then we can do engineering, yes? If we're going to hire somebody, how do we hire the right person is one thing we can do. Or where are the problem areas going to be within this team? You know, shall we look to outsource this, for example, or hire somebody to come help us within that area? Yeah. And also, this is so deep, we can also look at the triggering. Yes. So this hidden mechanical thing that happens in the background because of the people's energies. So do they elevate each other? Do they give each other challenges? Okay. So looking at this, we can also do that. And through this, we can also coach, for example, business owners or managers, how to manage their business better or their team better, how to lead. Are there going to be like emotional problems, let's say, and who's affecting who in which way? Yes, how are these team members supposed to work? And how can you support them better? So the whole team can actually thrive and be successful together. Okay, so this is another thing that we can offer through the BG5 lens. And then all these small groups come together to make larger organizations. Yes, we call it the OC16 in human design, is called the WA. So this is the large group dynamics that are applied. And it's formed of smaller pentas actually coming together to make up the bigger organization. And there's a whole 3-semester course on OC16 as well, if you wanted to coach, yes, within that area. But we can also see that who belongs in a larger organization, which we call them power bases. Which power bases would you be pulled into, or which are the strengths, these OC16 strengths that an individual has? Yeah. So by looking at all of this, we can tell why some teams thrive and some others fail. Yes. For example, you may go into one organization or work with a team and you're energized. Everything works perfectly. Or even in a football game, for example, it happens. Teams operate differently. Yes, in some places or with some teams, your energy is drained, and some of them will just make you feel great. So how does that happen? It happens through the energy mechanics that's in the background, and we're able to see that through the BG5 lens. Yes. And helping individuals, of course, live a fulfilling career or business life is one of the things that we can do. And this is just like the surface of it. These are long classes, and then we also have cycles analysis that we can do. We also have the profit potential that we can help individuals with. So BG5 offers so much. And of course, many different people could really benefit from this knowledge, yes. If you're new to human design, it's your first time looking at this, starting with BG5 can be an option. Yes, it depends on which lens you want to take and where your path really crosses human design. For example, mine crossed it at BG5. Yes, I was later interested in human design. I've taken some courses, but I know this is my area. Yes, because I can bring something from me into this area as well. If you're a human design analyst, you're living your design guide, or you've taken IHDS courses, BG5 could really benefit you as well in coaching your clients as well, in terms of being an alpha or a leader or running their business, no matter what area they work on. Yes. And if you go through the information, of course, you'll understand your own career design. Yes. And then for those of you who are interested, of course, you can continue to become a certified BG5 consultant. Yes. And then you can really help others with this information. So, as most of you know, I don't know if we have any new people who are brand new to human design, but the times we're in are changing. Yes. So this really makes this information ever more important than ever. Okay. So according to BG5, we are in times of transition. Yes. And we're all feeling it. Yes, the world is not the same like it used to be. So we're moving from the era of planning to the era of the individual. So what once worked no longer works, both personally and in business. So people's expectations are changing. Yes. So in the era of planning, which is the past 400 years, actually, it was about having some skills and the bargains. Yes. So like you went through school, you had to go through school, and then you got a diploma, you started a job, there was a bargain. Yes. You worked so much hours and then you got a paycheck. And you probably dedicated your life to whatever that job was you were doing. And then you get retired and you're able to take care of your family type of bargain. Yes. And it's also built on systems of power. Yes, there are governments, there's the banking system, and it's built on trusting authorities. Yes. And very focused on work. But now things are changing and shifting. Yes. So now people really are focused on themselves. They just don't want to work for a paycheck. And it's about self-empowerment. Yes. So a lot of young people questioning whether they should go to education is a necessity or not. Yes. Should they go to college or not? And they believe that abundance of spirit is there. They're not so concerned like, oh, I need to be earning this to be able to be something in life. Yes. And maybe not so concerned about all those things you could buy just because you had a good job. Yes. And with the era of the individual, it's more on how your unique gifts are being called out, and also trusting ourselves. Yes. Because as times are changing, who do we have to trust? Yes. It's all about trusting ourselves, trusting our inner knowing. Yes. So not relying on the so-called experts to take care of things, for example. So the individual really working alone for his or her own good, but also for the good of the community. Yes. And bonding with others in a way. So this is one of the biggest pieces I love about BG5, yes. Human design is maybe more focused on who we are as individuals, but in BG5, we're really focused on who we are in relationship to others as well. Because business operates on relationships. Yeah. So it's really important for us to learn and understand this at some level, either personally or professionally. And the first level of BG5, where you start learning about your career type, your personal interaction style, and your decision-making strategy, is a good place to start. Yes, if you just only knew that and you could honor it, yes, especially your decision-making, then you could really go miles. So, just gonna move on. And I do see Carla joining, and I did allow you to talk. All right, I just need to do that as people come in. So, just to mention, we discussed about the transitioning times. Yes. So BG5 really is a very, very powerful tool in these times of transition, because when things are shifting, people are confused and sometimes fearful. Yes. So this information can really help provide individuals to tap into their personal power and to be able to make the correct decisions. Yes. And as this tribal and the bargain system is breaking down, yes, people will really need to learn how to create successful teams. Yes, bond, and then maybe those bonds will disseminate in time, but we come together to work, and then it's not like under the strict bargain, but there's collaboration happening, and the business will be happening in a different way. Yes. And people are really seeking jobs that are fulfilling. They really want to enjoy yes, and yet have that sense of satisfaction and success and peace and delight. Yes, nobody wants to work for a paycheck only anymore. And also work in the correct environment with the bonds, yes, where they can really feel the abundance of spirit. So with BG5, we're able to assist all the individuals and their interactions together in the business world. So thriving with BG5, I've given you so many points around it, but it could be useful for such different audiences. So like if you're a manager, it will help you guide your employees and create impact, yes, and also help your employees grow in their career and make your team successful. I used it a lot in my corporate time, yes, and I could really see the impact that I could create by knowing my team's design. Yes, putting the right people at the right tasks, being able to correspond with them and speak to them in a manner that they can easily absorb, yes, and understand. If you're a business owner, yes, how can you manage your business more successfully? You as the alpha and your team. Yes. If you're a coach or a consultant, yes, you could really use this knowledge to empower your clients. If you are helping startups, yes, or if you're going to start a startup, how do you successfully launch a business? You could be in HR, for example, or recruiting. Then how do we place the right individuals in the right roles? Yes, which skills and strengths do they have? And do they fit into that team? Yes, what were the gaps within that team, and can we engineer it to make the perfect team that will create business results? This information can also help students, yes, pick the right careers. Which direction do they take? Solopreneurs, how can they be more successful? And general in career, it can help people. It can help struggling business owners, yes, be more successful. And more importantly, of course, it helps all of us to bring the best out of ourselves in a way. So this is how we can really thrive with BG5. And me witnessing it with my students and people who do coaching and consulting with me, the impact and what you can create with this knowledge is so impactful, and it could really move miles in people's lives and really make a difference. So I've been able to witness that, yes, throughout these years. So that's why I'm ever more passionate about BG5. So I promised I wouldn't keep it long, but what I want to do is just show you what are the things that we can provide. So I'm moving more to now, for those of you who are interested in moving to BG5 consultancy. So what are the tools that you can get out of this to use? So in the certification, which is 3 semesters, we actually learn the 16 success tools that can support somebody's career. Yeah. So helping people understand their type. How do they best express themselves? And how do they interact with others? And how do they make decisions? Yes. How do they know if things are on track or not? Yes. How do they assimilate information? Yes. Do they get it quickly? They need to collaborate. Maybe they need to take their time. Yes. So not only do you understand how you assimilate your information, but you also understand how others do it. And we're all different. Yes. And there's such beauty in understanding that we're all different. So this diversity and inclusion is the big word. It's like a buzzword that's used in business. Yeah. So this information, and it's the science of differentiation as well, can really, help us understand what diversity is, understand yourself and others and how they're different from you, and learn to honor that and respect that. Also understand which are the work settings that you operate best in. Yes. What skills do you bring to the table? Which attributes do you bring to the table? So there are the skills, the 12 skills, and they come in some attributes. Yes, so some things are our job and some things we should leave to others. Not everything is our job, so we can understand that. What functions define somebody's consistent strengths and what are their shadows? Yes, but of course, those also mean areas of wisdom for them. What's the purpose of a person's life? So why are you here? This information can help an individual understand that. And what's your life work? So the overall theme of your purpose in the world through the business sense, of course, and the general thematics and the strengths you bring, and also all the traits and qualities that are there. So what are the unique expressions of these gifts that somebody brings? Yes. And also if they belong in a large organization or not, and which roles they would be drawn more to within the large organizations. Okay, so all of this we cover in the certification. And then, of course, there is more to the curriculum that the Institute is offering. So I just put a slide for you because I get asked this question a lot. Yes. So this is the Institute's curriculum, actually. So usually people will start by taking the foundation courses, which is 2 semesters in BG5. So this is the equivalent of the IHDS foundation courses. So if you have taken courses with IHDS, the foundation courses, then you will be eligible to start the consultancy certification as well. Yes, you just need to send an email to the office. We still require you to audit so you can understand the BG5 language. Yes, but these are offered at a very special price. Yes, and it doesn't stop you from starting now if you've done IHDS courses. So you can begin immediately. And before you graduate, you have to complete auditing the foundation courses. Or you may have just gone through the BG5 route and you directly go into BG5 foundation, and then you can go into the consultancy. And once you're a consultant, you could, if you're interested, you could go into diving into large business, yes, which is 3 semesters. There's a profit potential course that's 4 semesters. And there's also the career and business cycles consultancy. These are advanced courses that you can take after you've become a consultant. All right. Now, I am very quickly going to move on. Because I will be, well, maybe let me move to this. So I am going to start a certification course tomorrow. Yes. And I always get asked, so what do we learn in the BG5 certification course? So I brought the slide before I received the question. So these are the things that we learn in the certification course. In semester 1, you learn to deliver the BG5 career design overview. Okay. In semester 2, the 16 career tools that I showed you, and you can do a career design analysis with that. And we also learn how to do a partnership analysis. And then in semester 3, you learn to do and deliver an Alpha 1 leadership analysis and the small business analysis, which is the Penta, the engineering. Do we have gaps? How does this team wipe together? How do they elevate each other and sometimes challenge each other? Yes. And how can the owner or the manager manage this team better, also respecting their own design? Right? So these are the things that we cover in the foundation course. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be starting a new one. So if your time has come, you can just jump in, and you can always come to the first class and be my guest. So you can register for free for that class as well. All right, so I have completed all the slides that I brought for you. So now I'm going to open it up for questions because I really wanted this to be interactive and to be able to answer if you have any questions, to meet all of you. So because we set this up in a webinar format, we're not able to turn on everybody's videos, but I allowed everybody to unmute themselves, and anything you want to share, any questions that you have, just feel free. So I'm going to open it up now for any comments or questions. Amanda.
Hey, I have a question. It's about BG5, the certification.
Mhm.
When you go about doing the analysis for a company, how do you go about attracting a person based on your own design? Like how
So
do you go about that?
do you mean to attract a company to do an analysis with you? So how do you do the sales pitch? Is that the question?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it all depends, yes? Depending, so let's say you're certified and you are looking to get some clients. So depending on your design and your profit potential, a profit potential analysis is always recommended. But depending on your design, of course, let's say I'm an advisor. Yes, so I always need to receive invitations to move into companies. So an example, for example, is it comes through people who have heard about human design. They've seen a webinar or something, and they just want to get information. And then we start talking, and they're like, "Oh, will you please do this for my company as well?" So then for me, it always really works through that invitation. Or sometimes it will be one of my students. You know, they might want to work with me on a personal level. And then if they have their own business or they're a manager, sometimes they'll ask me to also do workshops for their team or look at their company and be more successful. So for me, it always works through invitation and recognition. But if, let's say, you're a builder, yes, then for you, of course, it should work through response. So for example, let's say you're looking through LinkedIn. Yes, so it's a tool somebody can use to do some sales pitches. And if you're looking through LinkedIn and you started following certain companies and you're seeing, let's say they're doing some workshops, developing their employees, if your gut is saying yes to that, yes, you could just jump in and write them an email, for example, to introduce yourself. So for a builder, this could work. Yeah. So there are so many ways. Some people build their websites and they'll advertise, and that's how they get their clients. Yes. But my experience, Amanda, usually is it starts with the individual. So it usually starts with an individual who's really interested. They can be owning a company, they can be a manager at a company, or they can be the HR of a company. So usually it's the individual that gets interested and sees the value of BG5, and they usually bring it to their company. So this is my experience so far that I can share. Was that helpful?
Actually, it was because I'm an express builder, so so thanks for that suggestion.
All right, lovely. Yeah. Any other comments or questions around anything on BG5 or coaching clients with BG5 or anything personal you wanted to know? Carla, I do see you are here. So Carla has done the foundation course with me and she is really deep into human design. Would you like to share anything with the audience around BG5 and what it's brought to your life?
Sure. Thanks for the recognition and invitation. I'm an advisor. Um, I've been studying with Banu, I think, oh gosh, I think this is my third semester. I really have enjoyed just studying the knowledge. I started with human design for my personal journey about 3 years ago. And I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed learning about deconditioning on a personal level and really felt connected to this intel. However, when I started studying BG5, it kind of took everything to another level. As Banu explained and mentioned, BG5 is more related to not just career and business, but how we interact with other people. And for an advisor like myself, for example, that is all we really care about is how other people function and why. But it also gave me a lot of recognition into my own business skills and my own way of being around other people, whether it be solo or partnership interactions or being in big groups. And
Mhm.
so I really learned a lot about my interaction style. And like I said, it is business oriented, but I started really applying it in all facets of my life. So all interactions. I can't say enough how abundant and successful I feel since really learning this knowledge. I took the first two foundational courses, and honestly, it flew by that I really missed not being in class. The classes were phenomenal. I don't know if this is your first time meeting Banu as a instructor, but she really tailors the class to have meaningful discussions, and all of the slides and also the replays, if you can't attend the classes live, are really, really just amazing. And I really felt, and I think I can say that my colleagues also felt, because we talk about this all the time. We really felt that Banu's learning, her teaching style was very inclusive, but also she never gave us easy answers. She also challenges us to think about it and talk about it as a group, which was also interesting because then we could see how we interact as a group. So yeah, I really highly recommend this course if you're interested. And I think that you would really need to experiment it with yourself, for yourself, in order to see how amazing it is. And hopefully I'll see you in the analyst courses, the certification courses. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, well,
Thank you, Banu,
you
for letting me share.
Oh, thank you so much for being here, Carla, and supporting me and all the nice words. Thank you. I'm honored. Yeah. So I think just to build on what Carla said, I think my classes are tailored in a way because I come from the business world and I've applied it. So I try to share the practical application of it around things what worked for me. And with my team, and through those communication channels and big org, and through all the consultations and the coaching that I have done, what really worked practically to help business owners make a change within their business. So I think that's the nuance of my classes, where we concentrate more on the practical application. Yes, the knowledge is important, of course, but there's so much you can do with it, and that's the part that really excites me, and that's where we really focus on in class. And the class, so I had a slide on that one. So the class starting tomorrow, I already have around 20 registrations right now, so it's a big class, and I'm very excited about it because the more people we have, the more interaction there is. And then we can hear different perspectives. We can hear how people really have applied this knowledge within their life. And we will have solopreneurs. We have some, other people with doing their own business, some executive coaches, or some directors from the business world, salespeople, operations people. So the more people we have, the more we can really learn from each other. And I think that's what makes the difference. Yes. And if I could really facilitate that within a class, then I am successful as an advisor. Yes. And that's my signature as an advisor. So I'm really looking forward to the class, and I'll be assisted by Banu. She lives in Switzerland. And she will be assisting me through the course. And I'm sure we'll have a beautiful discussion on the forum as well. So I'm very excited for the course. Yeah. And Julie says she watched the BG5 Foundation videos. Yes, already auditing. Yes, Julie. Great. Great that you're doing the work. Yeah. Are there any other questions, comments for me? Of course, you can always reach out to me personally through my email if there was anything you wanted to ask. Yeah. All right. Well, great. So I would like to thank all of you for being here. I hope I could shed a little bit of light into scratch the surface of what BG5 can really bring to an individual and to a business. As I said, be my guest in the first class to see if it's for you. Yes, you got to come. It's all about experience. So if you come and you experience and you decide it's for you, you're more than welcome. Yes. And I want to thank all of you for being here today or tonight. And I wish all of you a good journey with your experimentation, and wish all of you well. So thank you so much for being here and take care. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you.